NXT Halloween Havoc this past Saturday was truly a night to remember, and the fallout is only just beginning. Many fans in the WWE universe have been asking, what's next for Zaruka after Zarya lost Sol Ruka's NXT Women's North American Championship to Blake Monroe, and also what the future holds for Izzy Dame in the culling after seeing Tatum Paxley become the new NXT Women's Champion. Another question that's also been that's also been asked over the last 48 hours is what could be next for All Ego Ethan Page after successfully retaining the NXT North American Championship against the AAA Latin American Champion Elio de Dr. Wagner Jr. in the Day of the Dead match on Saturday. All these questions and more need to be answered, and today we just might be able to answer them. So let's review each match that was on the card for Halloween Havoc. First up was the incredible tag team match that we saw between the team of Javon Evans and the TNA X Division champion Leon Slater, and as they went up against AAA's Mr. Iguana and La Barca, two of the biggest stars in AAA right now. But let's not forget that La Barca was actually a huge star in WCW. He had made quite the impact in WCW in the mid to late 90s, which is what made him a star in AAA. This match was actually fast-paced, and we knew that there was going to be a lot of gifts going on, and I'm pretty sure that there probably is going to be at a later time. This was the clear case of the as I like to call it, the Jacob Fatu special, all gas, no brakes. And the crazy thing is that we knew it was gonna be fast paced. We knew it was gonna be chaotic. And again, as I stated on Saturday, the final moments, Slater and Evans picked up a huge win over the team of Mr. Iguana and La Barca, which those two, actually all four men, huge standing ovation from the entire WWE universe, and I think fans would love to see them run it back. But as far as the fallout of what could be next for both teams, let's be real. Mr. Iguana is currently one half of the AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions, whereas opposed to La Barca, he's just doing his own thing. He is simply put, he is La Barca doing La Barca things, which could literally be anything. But as far as Slater and Evans, they want the NXT Tag Team titles, which are now once again in the hands of Dark State, which we will talk about that later on in this video. Obviously, they both want the NXT Tag Team titles, but Slater, he has his own problems to deal with back in TNA, as he has to deal with the entirety of the legacy of the X Division Championship, because there are several challengers that would love to challenge the youngest in charge for the X Division title. I'll say this. I think as much as fans would love to see those two teams run it back, I think personally, if I'm being realistic, I think fans would love to see Slater and Evans run it back from Bound for Glory, because from what I had seen in the clips on social media, they damn near put on a 5-star instant classic before Dark State ruined the match, which which pissed off a lot of people. Literally, it pissed off a lot of people, and fans have been just clamoring for the run back, and fans are asking, when the fuck are we getting it? At this point, it could literally be at any fucking time, any given time. No one knows, but definitely was a huge instant classic with this tag match. Next up, obviously, was the men's North American title. I talked about how on Saturday, Ethan Page disrespected the Lucha Libre legacy by ripping at the mask of Dr. Wagner Jr., and that was what gave Ethan Page the edge in that matchup. Excuse me, because by ripping at the mask of Dr. Wagner Jr., the Triple A Latin American champion couldn't really do a whole lot in the ring, because if the ripped mask were to blind Dr. Wagner Jr., there's not much he can do, because he has to waste time readjusting his mask, or if it was too much for him, obviously he could take off the mask, but yeah, that would never happen. Let's just be real, that would never happen. However, I will say that after Saturday, I think the entire WWE universe has started to take Ethan Page seriously as the NXT North American champion, which ties into the question of what's next. Who can prove Ethan Page wrong as his next challenger? And honestly, I really don't think there's anyone else. Maybe Shawn Spears, perhaps. Perhaps we could see Obafemi at some point, which I doubt it, but who knows? Potentially Ricky Saints, which would be very interesting. Maybe someone from AAA, maybe someone from TNA. The possibilities are out there, but at this point, I really don't think there is anyone left for Ethan Page. Only thing left for him to do is to just retire, leave NXT, still North American champion, and just do the same thing that Asuka did, and that was just retire from NXT as the NXT Women's Champion. Asuka did that after having such a very historic reign that it's the old adage, often imitated, never duplicated. Let's be real. No matter who becomes the NXT Women's Champion, there will not be one person that will be able to break Asuka's reign as champion. Anybody who does, props to them, but just know that Asuka might be showing up. But as far as the men's North American title goes, I really don't think anyone's next, or rather anyone's left. I don't think there's anyone left in NXT to challenge Ethan Page. So maybe someone from TNA, perhaps maybe Moose, which is possible. Perhaps maybe Matt Cardona. It could literally be anybody. Could literally be anybody. But I will say, I truly believe that Ethan Page is going to go down in history as one of truly, as he says, one of the greatest North American champions we have ever had in a long time. And the last time was, I believe, Wes Lee and Obafemi. In fact, I think Wes Lee held the NXT North American title for a little over 300 days. And I think Obafemi broke that record. So Obafemi's up there. Ethan Page still has a long way to go. Speaking of the North American title, the women's title changed hands. Zarya defended the title on Sol Ruga's behalf against Blake Monroe, and it just was not good. Don't get me wrong. don't get me wrong, Sol Ruka had such a dominant reign as the women's North American champion since winning the title back in April at Stand and Deliver during WrestleMania weekend. But to be fair, she has the weight of two divisions on her back. She had the weight of the NXT women's division on her back, and the weight of the women's speed division on her back as well. And that was what did her in a couple weeks ago on SmackDown, where excuse me, where she had to tap out to Charlotte Flair's figure eight, injuring her knee. That was what did her in. Zarya wanted to help retain the title, but it just ended up backfiring. So now it ties into the question: can Zarya bring the title back to Zaruka? And at this point, the answer is no. And the only reason why is because whenever someone becomes a new champion, whenever there is a new champion crowned, and the rematch between the new champion and the former champion go at it, it's always the new champion that always retains. So my opinion is that, my honest hot take opinion, that Zaruka should just stay away from the women's North American title for just a little bit, or at least until Sol Ruka is medically cleared, and then she can go after the title, regain the title, and then everything would be back to normal. But I have a feeling that we might see a Sol Ruka heel turn. Maybe we might see a Zarya heel turn, or maybe we might see both of them turn heel. Who the fuck knows? But I will say that Blake Monroe she's gonna have a very interesting NXT Women's North American Championship reign, to say the very least. It'll be very interesting, but we'll just have to wait and find out who will step up to the glamour. Next up is actually the NXT Women's title between Tatum Paxley and Jacy Jayne. Let's just be real. Tatum Paxley becoming champion, hot take, my honest opinion, 100% was unexpected, because we saw in the final moments, Izzy Dame had the NXT Women's title in her hands, and it looked like she was about to aim for Tatum Paxley as a little bit of jealousy. She was a bit jealous by the fact that Tatum Paxley got the title shot and she didn't. And the way I see it, I feel like as if this is a way for Izzy Dame to kick Tatum Paxley out of the culling, so she can go after the title herself and bring the title to the culling in the process. That's one idea. Another idea is that Jacy Jayne and Tatum Paxley get, they run it back for the NXT Women's title, potentially at deadline in a couple months, and then when that match comes, Tatum drops the title to Jacy. Izzy turns on Tatum. Bam. Tatum Paxley once again is all alone, and she is out of the culling. Another idea is for Tatum Paxley to hold on to the title until Stand and Deliver, because I truly believe that Tatum Paxley deserves a lengthy reign as NXT Women's Champion. But obviously, with NXT taking place tomorrow night, there's really no telling what can happen next. As far as the tag titles go, I think it was just the numbers game. We knew that the Hardys were going to be going into this match with a massive disadvantage, And they told Slater and Evans, hey, don't worry about us. We need to handle our business. And they kind of did. Now that Dark State are once again tag team champions, what's next? I mean, at this point, we could see Hank and Tank go after the tag titles. We could see Chase U go after the tag titles. We could see a tag team from Evolve go after those titles. So a team from NXT, TNA, AAA. Literally any tag team can step up to Dark State, but let's be real, Dark State, they are as dangerous as gonna get. So I have a feeling that this second reign for Dark State is gonna be longer, and it's gonna be even more dangerous than ever before. And as far as the NXT title goes between Ricky Starks and Trick Williams, let's be real. I think Trick Williams' time is up in NXT, and I think it's time for him to get called up to the main roster. Potentially seeing him on Raw. I don't think putting him on SmackDown is the best option, and the reason for that is because we just saw Carmelo Hayes turn babyface. So babyface Melo is going to be very interesting, kind of like how interesting it was when he was babyface as the NXT champion. Because the moment he became NXT champion, immediately fans were like, "Oh shit, we have a new champion, let's fucking go." Now with Melo as a babyface on SmackDown, 100%. He is definitely gonna have a lot of work to do, including potentially becoming the United States champion. Maybe go after the WWE title, which would be interesting. But for Melo, it would a good first start. The United States title currently being held by Ilya Dragunov. And as far as Trick goes, if he goes to Raw, I mean, that's where pretty much most of the big guns go anyway. And Trick Williams is currently one of the biggest guns in NXT. So why not have him go over to Raw and go up against guys like CM Punk, guys like Seth Rollins, guys like Braun Breaker, and guys like Dirty Dom, guys like Dragon Lee, AJ Styles. I mean, there are so many different dream matches that we could potentially see, but only time will tell. The fallout going into tomorrow night is going to be interesting, and it'll be interesting to see what Sol Ruka will have to say after what happened on Saturday. But we do have to wait until tomorrow night. And on that note, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.